Have you ever noticed it seems like all the Christian women are the ones losing in the game of love? Listen, I'm going to help you with that. My name is Stacey Speller. I am a relationship expert. I am a life strategist for ambitious women just like you, helping you make smart decisions so that you can have the life and the love you deserve. So be sure to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. I am going to give you 7 reasons why Christian women are losing at love. Now, I have coached hundreds of women to relationship success, so I have seen this more often than not. And I need you to hear this and watch this video all the way through with an open mind. I promise you it's going to help you. The first reason, and I cannot overstate this enough, ladies, and I see this so often, you're just too religious and deep. Now, having said that, let me tell you, I love God. I have traveled the world. I've gone on mission trips. I love God. But guess what? It's part of my lifestyle, but I have so many other interests. There's so many other things about me. But sometimes you ladies, you're just too deep and too religious. You know, you glow in the dark in your prayer closet and you can levitate on your prayer rug and you've got a prayer shawl that's been, blessed by some prophet somewhere. All that. You need some other outside interests, girl. You got to learn how to loosen up, have fun. What other things do you like to do? What makes you laugh? What makes you happy? What do you actually enjoy? What kind of conversation can you have outside of, well, what's your favorite book? The Bible. What do you like to do? Pray. Where do you like to go? Church. No, you need to have something else about yourself, about your conversation, about how you're showing up, where you're not just leading with all this religiosity and Christianese. And a guy's like, well, I don't even know what to do with it. And then it almost makes you come across like you're being judgmental because somehow he's not at the level that you're at. So I need you to loosen up, have some fun, learn how to laugh, and stop being so extra, uber, super spiritually religious and deep. The second thing that I see that Christian women are doing is that you have over-spiritualized this idea that God has this perfect man for you. You've over-spiritualized the whole concept of a soulmate. Listen, let me tell you, and I need you to hear me good on this. There's more than one man that's absolutely perfect for you. Think about all the men in the entire world. Do you really think God would limit it to just one? So here's what that does. If you've ever had your heart broken, if you've ever been betrayed, maybe you had a nasty breakup, you had a divorce, maybe a guy walked out on you, it'll leave you feeling like, okay, well, now my chances of love are over, or it keeps you where you don't even want to try again because you feel like that one person in all of the universe is now gone. I want to encourage you. First of all, God's best is never behind you. God's best is always in front of you. So if you had that bad breakup, if somebody walked out, if somebody left, if you had a divorce, there's more than one man that's absolutely perfect for you. And you have to be willing to recognize that. I had a bad betrayal, a terrible, bitter divorce, a breakup. And if I had believed that the man who left me was the only man in the entire universe for me, I would not be happily married to a man who's absolutely perfect for me. So I need you to stop over-spiritualizing this idea of soulmate. Or maybe you're in a relationship, you're not getting anything out of it, you're not being fulfilled, you don't feel good about it, but you feel like, oh, he's my soulmate. No, there's more than one guy that's absolutely perfect for you. And I need you to recognize that and not make it just so overly spiritualized that he has to be the one, because there's only one. Take the limits off God. Girl, there's plenty of guys out there that are absolutely perfect for you, okay? Now, the third thing that I see that's causing Christian women to lose in love is what I call doormat doctrine. Doormat doctrine. And it's this false belief that somehow in order to walk in love, you've got to let a man walk all over you. You've got to be almost like a doormat where you're not getting anything out of the relationship. Maybe he's not respecting your boundaries. He's not honoring your desire for commitment. You don't feel seen, heard, and valued. But you just believe that if you just pray and keep letting him treat you the way he does, that somehow miraculously he's going to change. And maybe you heard a testimony 20,000 years ago about somebody who had a loser of a guy and she just kept on praying and believing and fasting, and then poof, voila, he turned into this amazing man. Well, God bless her and her testimony. But here's what I'm going to tell you for a fact on the ground. You can't pray a man to treating you right if it's not in him. Because a man doesn't act out of character. He acts out of the condition of his heart. So what that looks like is he should be treating you well on day one. It should not be at year 2 or year 3 where he's still not committing. He's still not honoring your boundaries. You're still just hoping and praying and wishing that he's going to change. And you feel like you're just being kind and loving. And this is your version of walking in love. That's not how this works. You teach a man how to treat you from the moment you say hello. So the longer it goes where he's not treating you well, where you're not getting what you need and want out of this relationship, this idea that doormat doctrine, that love is like a test of endurance, and if you just hang in there and just keep praying and keep fasting, that he is going to somehow be this amazing guy for you. No, I just have to tell you the honest truth. That is not going to be what happens. And the longer you stay in that, the longer it takes you to find a man who is going to treat you that way. So I want you to let go of this notion that in order to walk in love, you have to just tolerate all kinds of foolishness. That is not true. You deserve to have what you want honored and valued. You value commitment. Why is he still not committing 3 years later? You have certain boundaries. Why is he continuing to cross them? He wants to have all the benefits of a relationship, but he says he doesn't want to be in a relationship. All of those things, that's all part of that doormat doctrine. And I need you to stop it and recognize that that is not God's best, and that is not the expectation of what it looks like to walk in love, okay? The fourth thing is that you are looking for love in all the wrong places. Now, I know you're like, well, girl, where am I supposed to meet him? I want to encourage you. You can meet the man that's absolutely perfect for you, that's God's best for you, and he may not be in church. I know that's hard to hear, but it's almost like the only time you're ever open to meeting a guy is if you're within the 4 walls of the church. But you may not meet him in church, and that is perfectly okay. You may meet him at the supermarket. You may meet him when you're out playing tennis. You may meet him when you're in a business situation. You may meet him at a happy hour with some networking professionals. You could meet him anywhere, but I need you to be open and not so closed-minded that your salvation is so fragile that if you were to meet a guy outside of church, that somehow you can't handle that. It's okay. And I'm not saying you should be like combing through the clubs looking for the man, but I also need you to open up and recognize that he's not necessarily going to be in the 4 walls of your church that you attend, and he may not be in the 4 walls of somebody else's church where you actually meet him. Now, that doesn't mean he doesn't attend church or that he does not have faith. And let me just say this, ladies. Church attendance does not give you a pass that automatically makes you a great guy. Just like you're not a great guy because you're in church any more than you would become a car if you went and stood in your garage. Just because you go to church and you're in church and you meet somebody in church does not give you a pass that, okay, now they're this amazing, wonderful man and this must be the man God has for me. No. So I need you to stop thinking that you're limited to only meeting a guy in church. I have clients that have met their guys all kinds of places. So there isn't just one particular place. Now, there's about being in position, and I did a video on this about how you can go places and be in position to be found by a great guy. And I'll link that video here in the description to go back and watch and see about where you can go. But you've got to get out of this mindset that whoever God has, the only place you're going to meet him is within the 4 walls of the church. Girl, your salvation is not that fragile. It's not going to fold like a cheap suitcase if you meet a great guy and he just happens to not be inside the 4 walls of the church, okay? Now, the 5th thing that I see that's causing Christian women to lose in love is what I call that genie in a bottle kind of faith, where somehow God is like a genie in a bottle and just rub the bottle with the genie and then poof, you get the great guy. Again, that is not how it works. And I need you to remember the faith without works is dead. Now, here's what's interesting. I actually have more women who either go through my coaching or will hire me for one-on-one coaching that are not Christians. I know, right? Even though I'm very strong in my Christian faith and they know that I am, but they recognize that if they want to find true love, if they want to be successful in their relationship, they may just need to get some help. And they're okay with that. But somehow in Christendom, we believe that all we need to do is maybe fast more or pray more or just keep speaking life and taking that approach. And then we're going to get this great guy. And so we sabotage, we don't use wisdom, we're not getting the help that we need because we feel like we should need it. All we need is God. And while I agree all you need is God, but God provides other things. So there could be any number of things that you need to do. The first thing, if you're not sure about, which I encourage everybody to do, if you're really serious and you're not attracting or connecting with great guys, you need to figure out what it is. How are you actually showing up? In fact, the number one thing I do with my ladies that are non-Christians, they come and they say, okay, I'm serious. I'm taking action. I want to know, how am I showing up? How are guys perceiving me? What do I need to do differently? And then from there, they can say, okay, should I be on a dating app? How's my profile? How should my profile look? Should I be going here, joining these organizations, trying these different things? Maybe I need to hire a matchmaking. Maybe I need to get a matchmaking service. Maybe I need to get a stylist. Maybe I need to change my hair or do something different. Whatever it is, and I'm not saying that you need to do all of these things or any of these things, but don't treat it like you don't have to do anything other than just have this genie in a bottle kind of faith, and then you're suddenly going to just meet this great guy. It's okay to say that, you know what? I'm going to get some wisdom. I'm going to get somebody who's been there, who can help me, who can show me, who can give me the tips and things that I need so that I can show up, because I am serious about finding true love. But I realize I've got to be willing to say, well, you know what I'm doing isn't working. How's that working out for you? If I'm not getting the love that I want, if I'm not getting the relationship that I deserve, then I have to be willing to do something different, because I don't want another year to go by and then another year where either I'm not attracting and connecting, or I'm not getting the guy that I'm, in a situationship, he's not committing, or any of those dynamics. You've got to be willing to say, it's okay for me to figure out what's going on and take action. Just take one step towards, I'm going to figure out what's keeping me from that great guy. Now, the sixth thing I see, and this is serious, ladies, and I need to say this from the heart because this hurts my heart, but it's the fact that you have this guilt and this shame and this fear that religion has given you. So what that looks like is you've made a mistake. Maybe you had a child out of wedlock, or you did did something that's causing you to have this regret and this shame. And because you do love God and you are a woman of faith, this regret and shame is almost consuming you. But here's the challenge: when you've got this regret and this shame and this fear, because now you're afraid of, oh my God, what if somebody were to ever know that I did this, or that I didn't wait until I was married to be intimate with a man, or I didn't have good boundaries, or whatever that is, whatever your narrative looks like. We've got this kind of whole facade that we put on to go out into the world. I call her the representative. And it's really prevalent in church life, where it looks like everybody's just arrived and had it all together, and everybody else is so holy and got their act together, and somehow something's wrong with you. So you've got all this hidden regret and shame and fear. And you cannot invite love into that kind of environment. You're never going to be able to manifest and call in love when you're just so full of regret and shame. So I need you to make sure that whatever you need to do, and whoever you need to connect with, or whatever work you need to do to work through that regret and that shame that you have, that you're carrying, that's been put upon you. Some of you are carrying it for 5, 10, 20, 30 years. And I need you to be able to do the work so that you can be free from the regret and the shame. God came to set you free, not for you to stay in bondage to fear and regret and shame, okay? And the seventh thing that I see is what I call misplaced humility. that somehow you believe that being willing to settle somehow makes you humble. So you're settling in your relationship. You're settling for the type of guys that you're dating. You're settling maybe in the relationship that you have, where again you're not feeling seen, heard, or valued. You're not getting the commitment, and you're settling. It's not what you really truly want deep down inside, but you feel like settling is some kind of great act of humility. Let me tell you for a fact, because I've done it. Settling does not make you humble. It makes you miserable. And I want better for you than that. So I need you to recognize the humility. A part of humility, a big part of humility, is just coming into agreement with the truth. What truth? The truth of who God says you are, that you're amazing, that you've got greatness inside of you, that it delights Him for you to experience the desires of your heart. That truth. And that you don't have to settle or take emotional crumbs from a guy who is just not showing up for you. That is not the humility that you should be leading with. So I want you to stop, because here's what it does. When you've got this misplaced humility, after a while, and you get so baptized in it, it causes you to it zaps all your confidence. So now you don't have any relationship confidence, because you're so busy just being humble, and you just kind of get beat down, and you're almost like downtrodden with this sense of what you believe humility is. No and no, girl. Humility is coming into agreement with the truth. And the truth is you're amazing. The truth is you have a lot to offer a really great guy. The truth is you do not have to settle, okay? So what I need you to do, first of all, if you have not gotten my free guide, I need you to get my top 10 tips of why you're still single. Listen, we love free, right? It's a free guide that'll help walk you through some of the reasons why you're still single. More importantly, what you can do about it. The next thing I want you to do is make sure you subscribe to the channel so you'll get notified. And then I want you to leave me a thumbs up and leave me a comment. I want to hear from you. Of these 7 things, what's one of the things that really resonated with you? What do you struggle with? I'd love to hear from you in the comments. And if you don't want to leave a comment, send me an email. I'd love hearing from you. I'm on my mission. This is my mission, to help you have the life and love you deserve. So I absolutely love hearing from you, okay? So I'll see you in the comments. Love you. Chat soon.